This was not the video I had planned next for my channel, but I said, you know what, that's okay. I'm gonna make it anyways because I am bursting at the seams. Hello, my name is Amy and welcome to my channel, Pretty Little Paperbacks. I finished this book at about 12:30 a.m. It is so good and I already miss the characters. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna come on here and make this video because I believe if you enjoy Christian fiction, this is the book for you. I really wish that I could articulate the perfect words to describe this book, but I'm afraid I may fall a little short. A couple things I'll mention right off the bat is this is a contemporary romance and the author is Becky Wade. This is a book in a new series called Misty River Romance, and it is set in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Georgia. I love the scenery that pulls me in. I can totally picture Blue Ridge Mountains 100%. We've been there and we love it. Number 2, among the different stories, one of them is actually told in first person. So this book is written in third person besides the one side story that is written completely in first person. So basically how she tells the side story is pretty much at the beginning of each chapter, there is a character who tells their side of the story. So that was very interesting to have that intertwined in this third person book. I really enjoyed it. This book definitely gives you all the feels. At some points I was laughing, at some points I was crying. It's just a very heartwarming, kind of a gut-wrenching in some areas type of story. You really get involved with the characters and I love how it was written. The main character, he is Sam and he's from Australia, so that was very interesting. Of course, I was trying to hear that accent while reading his parts, but I was trying not to focus too hard on that I missed the actual story. And then Genevieve, she is the other main character, and I will just tell you, their interactions were just something else. There are definitely some scenes in here that you can just feel the passion. Some may even say steamy, but I will tell you, not in a bad way at all. This book was very respectable when it came to the more romantic, intimate parts. Something else I will say about this book in terms of the love and the romance is that a lot of times our actions definitely speak louder than words, and this is one book that has such a good example of that. You see the actions and you just totally feel it even without them having to say it. That was such a great part of this story. There are so many different ways that you can love people, but I think actions by doing, that is one of the greatest parts about love that I think we can share. Not only, of course, with our spouses or significant others, but also with just people in general. The story is just all about transparency. It's all about digging deep, finding grace. You know, because there are times we go through trials and sometimes we may think, you know, we cannot feel God, we can't feel His Spirit. But you know what? He is there. And this book is a perfect example that what you're maybe looking for or what you're waiting to hear, the form it may take on or the form it may manifest in is not exactly going to be how you think it will be. It's even better and it's just like, wow. And you just totally feel it. That is one thing I really enjoy about reading Christian fiction. I do love romance, but I do love to feel the presence of God and read about His Spirit. Another element of this book that I will include is that one of the other stories focuses around family and family secrets, and then the other one that I was referring to that is in first person, that is a story where the main character was involved, but it wasn't just her. It was her and her sister and some people in their youth group. So definitely a variety of stories with the main story being romance. Overall, it all worked well, it meshed well, and it was such an endearing story. It's funny because I intentionally read this book a little bit slower because I was really trying to savor it and I didn't want it to run out of pages. I'm like, no, I only have this much left or this much left. So I kind of read it at a little slower pace, but I'm really glad I did that because I really enjoyed it. And I will tell you, this is one I will definitely be reading again, and I cannot wait for book 2 to come out, and that will be next year in 2021. I could really go on and on about this book, but I don't want to go too deep in it because I'm afraid I may give something away and I don't want to do that. But if you're able to rent this from a library, or it's a gorgeous book, if you want to add it to your collection, I highly recommend you do that. I was so impressed with this author. I cannot wait to go back and research some of her earlier books, her prior work, and read those too. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up now, but I want to say thank you all so much for watching. I hope everyone is well, and until next time, take care.